I think that the idea of anxiety is a funny idea. When I first started learning about the brain, actually it was because I thought I had anxiety. And now ever since, I just have been on a long learning journey about the mind and different ways that humans interact and ways that we work with each other. You really start to see that anxiety is really just a concept that somebody has put around a set of behaviors that can end up happening to you if you haven't organized your brain, or really haven't organized your mind, body, and soul to what you want to do in life, which is basically, that's when you achieve harmony. When somebody's seeking advice and they seem like they actually don't know what they're doing in life, they don't know where to start, they're afraid to start, they're doubting themselves, any of those areas where it's basically, you're going to start from the bottom, best thing that you can do is to start with organizing yourself, which is basically getting to know who you are. But when you organize, then you bring in, you're putting things in order. So what you would like to do is find out what you want to do in life. Why do you believe life is worth living? What makes life worth living for you? What do you believe the purpose of your life is? If you haven't discovered that, that means you haven't done enough things to see what you are about, and see what you truly love and what you like to do. You just haven't seen it yet, so you have to go out there. And the first step would be to do and to get out there and get out of your comfort zone so that you can discover who you are. And I believe that you'll always end up doing that no matter what. At the end of the day, the reason for life is to give life a reason worth living. That's the purpose. So you give yourself a purpose, and you want that purpose to be, something that's easily said, for something that you'll always be striving for, something that is only attainable by feeling. So that means you're going to keep striving for it, and that once you attain it, you're going to want to attain it again. It's something that's infinite, and it's a actual whole reason and purpose to live. So just something materialistic like money, house, cars, something like that, that's not an actual reason to live. I want to shout out impact theory on a lot of these concepts. However, this is just my experience and how I see that, and that has just played a big role in some of the education and knowledge and wisdom that I use on a daily basis. So definitely want to give credit, and I'm always going to do that when I can remember to. So that's cool that Tom Billy has actually inspired a lot of this. So with that being said, you want to have a purpose. That will be your goal. Now you can align different ways to attain that goal, which essentially are called pathways. Those pathways allow you to attain that goal, but through different mediums. If you're a philanthropist, if you'd like to help people, maybe you'd like to help feed the starving population, well then that could be a great goal that you want to live for and that you want to try to obtain over your life. One pathway to do that would be by doing food drives. You would probably participate in food drives. Another way to do that would be probably through making neighborhood gardens, and those kind of, there's urban gardens, there's different garden projects, community garden projects that help feed people that are in need. So you would do various paths that would align towards that. So you could do radio ads, bringing awareness to, trying to raise charity to help feed different people in need. So there could be different paths that you align to meet a certain goal that you know your past, you can start to contemplate and meditate on your goals and paths, and those will bring you to the realities of what skills you will need to do these paths to attain your goal. So if you want to do a food drive, and now that you know your goal is to try to end world hunger, so one of your first projects that you want to do is, one of your paths to do that is to do your own food drive. Just by me talking about it, my intuition's telling me that one of the things that I will need to be is definitely more a part of the community, so that I can establish more connections with people that are in the community, so that I can reach more people that are in need. And that's just right off the top right there. So as you can see, when you contemplate, which is an art of basically playing with an idea, then you can soon start to create different ways to successfully attain your goal through these paths. Different ways to do this. Like I said, once you know your paths, then you know who you need to be for those paths, or what you need to learn for those paths, and that essentially is going to be your skill sets. So once you now have gained those skill sets are going to be your everyday activity. So if you're doing a food drive, and one of the things you need to do a food drive is to be more in the community, then obviously you'll probably do a fundraiser, and you'll probably be doing that at a local hotspot where there's a lot of people. Thus your calendar is taken up by a day when you're going to do that. So once you have a goal, and now you have paths, and then you're able to find ways to do those paths, you essentially know exactly what skill sets you need. Now you can actually build your calendar to, of course, attain those skill sets, to then do those paths successfully, either before or while doing it. Of course, if you do it while doing it, it's going to be a little bit longer of a process, but you'll learn in the midst of it all, and that's a great way of learning. That's really the only way. Or you can learn ahead of time, maybe through somebody else's company that's similar, or through multiple different jobs that have multiple that equal a whole bunch of different skill sets all together, and then you make your own company at the end of all that. So there's different ways that you can do it. Now you can fill your calendar with things you need to do, at least for your paths, or for events that you are doing for your paths, and that's really how you achieve your purpose in life. So there's no real one purpose in life. Once you obtain it, it just keeps going and it keeps growing, and it could change, and that's evolution, and that's the great thing. Like I said, when somebody just doesn't know when to start, when they're at a ground level, at a rock bottom level, they're doubting themselves, they don't have skills, you have to start with organizing. And organizing is bringing order. But at the end of the day, those are just practical terms to really, when you put all that aside, you're finding out who you are and what you want to do and who you want to be. That's really it, those 3 points. So again, you need to find your goal. That will open up pathways for you, and then you'll know who you need to be and what you need to do those paths. And when you do that, you'll be able to do those paths successfully to your liking and to what you want, and those paths will ultimately be you completing your goal, which is you living the life that you want to live, which is the purpose of life. So I just wanted to share that. I believe that that's a great place to start. I believe that that's pretty simple, and it's always good to keep everything simple.
I hope I've entertained your spirit. Additional beliefs.